well, the killer sent me into this realm and I'm trying to escape, but the killer came in and he slugged me in the realm, so I can't actually get out of the realm. So to me, this is a lot of, hey, we put together a bunch of stuff, but we're trying to get people into it because we don't design things that people seem to have been enjoying the last so many releases, because people had like crazy issues all the way back with Springtrap. Even I think Kaneki before that, people were having like crazy big issues. So I think that might be one of the reasons why they did the Grimoire the way they did. Like they said, this has been like a year-long thing, which is about when things started to take like somewhat downward of a hill with what they've been releasing.
And since January, you've had the ability to further define the characters that we're going to be bringing to the fog by voting on the killer silhouette and material, and the survivor's face and mood board.
Which, again, as far as I know, they've had overall plans for survivors and killers in terms of, like, perks, so that we could see the other 3 survivors that didn't get voted in the future. I think the voting part was just which one do you want to see first. So maybe, like, between... They're going to run out of licensed product, right? Like popular licensed product. They have to eventually. So they're probably going to end up releasing these guys as like slow burns and then just having supposedly more perks come out. Because, again, supposedly, last I heard so long ago, they had a bunch of things planned for perks for survivors and killers that they just have ready to go when they need to. They just need to figure out what they're going to slap it onto.
And we'll continue to refine those, you know, and their lore in the coming months through your votes, again, with the next one opening next week. It's going to be very exciting. And on February 27th, so coming very soon. And you'll get to vote on a number of things. We'll do a little reminder at the end.
Like it's nice to get our input.
Names, the killer weapon, and the chapter's name, so all very exciting.
All right, that's crazy. Or no, we're not voting on the names of stuff, are we? If we are, I was gonna say, like, this seems very lazy in some sense. Like, it's nice to have our input to be like, okay, we built this. It's like a Subway sandwich kind of deal, right? Like the sub. My brother, like, oh man, the sub sucks. My brother in Christ, you built the sandwich. But it's still the ingredients, you know? I never complain about a Subway sub, by the way.
It's going to be so exciting.
Maybe someday I will.
But I'm not alone here.
Anyone else ever get like the egg patties from there on their subs?
The design and the art team to give you a little update on, you know, the progress we're making on the Grimoire side of things. So I'm going to pass it on to you, Jeff, to give us some more details about the prototype.
Yes. So hey everyone, you may or may not know me. If you don't, my name's Jeff. I'm a senior game designer. I've been working on Dead by Daylight for many, many years.
My name is Jeff.
Opportunity and
that's my input
on this chapter, which is fantastic. I've been loving seeing the votes and things take shape. It's really been awesome so far. So today I'm going to talk about the prototype.
That's also a good way to gauge what people want. It's a really good way to gauge and see, like, oh, this is the most popular thing. We should be making this content compared to this content because this gets people's attention. This is a good way for them to make money.
Expanding and finding the fun, and we've just entered what we would call the refinement/polish phase. So, you know, fine-tuning, finding the balance to make it feel good. And this, of course, goes beyond just the prototype, but this is where we start looking at the numbers and seeing how things feel.
Here we go with the numbers again. That's all they care about.
The first thing that I will show you...
Numbers on an Excel document.
Well, like I said, the prototype is progressing nicely. We just passed gate 2. And then we also had a recent blog post that we shared, which gave you insight on what we've done so far. We've done a few more things since that post, but it gave you a little, you know, behind-the-scenes view of what's happened. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I'll talk about is the Hopeless Exile. So the Hopeless Exile is the realm where you banish survivors as the killer, and they must face they must face challenges while they're.
That's new.
And initially, the way that it worked is that you would be sent there, and it was like a timer, and you could make it go faster, and eventually you would get out. So here's what it looked like.
So you're essentially, is this a killer ability? Is this something that happens to, because that would add another layer of gameplay to Survivor that people have been asking for. That's interesting. If this is killer specific, good. If this is like the gulag in Modern Warfare, no. I think if they do this for like killer specific, awesome. If they do this as like another goddamn support system for survivors that they don't need more of, as like you've been hooked 3 times, you're not actually dead, you get an additional second chance, I think that would be garbage. But if this is like, instead of hooking as like the new killer, you're sent to this, I think that would be kind of cool for that specific killer. And they already played around with additional maps within maps with the Christmas event. I didn't think about that. I didn't think that they might have actually put that as like an actual mechanic for a killer. That's kind of cool.
I apologize if it's a bit choppy. This is a GIF. Doesn't seem to be loading right now. Maybe if I...
Oh my god.
And not GIF. I think that's the reason why.
No.
It's GIF. Guys.
Okay, it's not working.
I'm about to gain like 5,000 followers. It's GIF, not GIF, alright? It is not graphics interchangeable format. It is not a graphics card. And I don't care if the person who created it says, oh no, it's GIF. You're fucking wrong. English language, batch.
So you see there's the depleting gauge around the survivor portrait. That was your exile.
This is Dead by Daylight. Moving on. This isn't English class.
And once it was over, you would...
Oh, see that again. Yeah.
I think the opposite
Okay,
side. Yeah.
perfect. So
It's working.
it's going to be a
too
little
powerful.
fast, and I'm going to replay it again, but this is what it was basically. So you see there's the depleting gauge around the survivor portrait. That was your exile timer, and you could collect these crystals to make it go faster. And once it was over, you would go back to the entity's realm. So I'm going to go back just so that we don't play the next part. And what we found is, obviously, with prototypes, we do playtests. We do a lot of playtesting internally, externally with the user research team, with our consultants.
So they do play their game. Just for the building part.
In the first version,
They don't play it for the after
the
fact.
feedback that we got was mostly that it felt too easy and uninteresting as Survivor. Because initially,
God, who
for this
cares?
version that I just showed, there were no crystals. You were just dodging the pillars of light that you could see in the exile. And so we added the crystals to give an objective to
Okay, yeah. I that part I can see.
to make it even more satisfying to collect. We
That part I can see.
bonus, so you get like the little speed boost, and that
Like,
was
oh
very
no,
bonus.
there's
But even with that,
a unique aspect to
the comments that we got
this
was
killer. It's so boring
there was
to be sent into another dimension.
And of course, the level that you see here is not at all final. It's not even the layout that we want. This is really just to be able to test the exile. So we just like have a flat plane with like these random blocks placed around. It's all work in progress.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's what we did first. And no, it's not clicking. Production, help.
Oh my god. These guys still don't know how to work a friggin'
Action is on it. We've got it.
board.
Okay, so anyway, when we were discussing the exile, the one with the...
That's
with the timer,
crazy.
we had a bit of an epiphany where the survivors just didn't feel pressure for being in there. So some of the comments that we got was even that they felt safe and they felt like it was a grace period of some kind.
And you don't want them to feel safe.
Well, I feel like you shouldn't. I feel, or that might also put in like a false sense. Because here's the thing. You're going into this realm that has random AoE damage spots. I'm assuming damage spots going around. Or maybe they'll have some debuff they apply. When you're in here, you're not distracting the killer. You're not doing generators. You shouldn't feel safe here. You should feel like, I need to get on this. I need to haul ass. Because when you're in here, the only thing you are doing is being a detriment to your team. You're not wasting the killer's time. You're not progressing the objective. You shouldn't feel safe in here. If people are feeling that way about this, they're doing their job. The killer is doing their... If this is killer exclusive, that killer is doing their job very well. This is tunneling without somebody dying. This is you as the fourth survivor are now out of the game, and I don't have to worry about you for this specific period of time. I like that.
In the hopeless exile.
No, exactly. Like, this is the killer is sending you there.
This is the fix to tunneling, guys.
So what we did...
This is the anti-tunnel update.
It has to be like a hook, right? Previously, it counted as a hook state, but it didn't have the risk of being on a hook. So with the current version, which you're seeing at very high speed, because, you know, it's a very long video, it's actually like a hook, 1-to-1. So you get sent there, you get
oh, Jesus.
Hook timer starts draining. And here, if you get hit by the pillars, it actually depletes your hook timer faster. So there's
yes.
Being in there.
See? Yes. This is actually perfect. What this does, okay, guys, you don't understand. This is the anti-tunnel update. You know what this does? This puts the ball in their court. This is now, okay, I've done the tunnel action, but now I am not the bad guy. It is not on me to save you from your tunnel situation. You now have to have the game sense and the gameplay and the desire to actually play the game properly to get out of this tunnel state. This is the solution. This is how you fix tunneling. This is your anti-tunnel. This is, you now have to play better, Survivor. You need to stop body blocking. You need to stop trying to waste time. You need to stop running all of these just non-stop ridiculous meta perks. And now you have to focus on just raw, foundational, base gameplay. This is the fix to tunneling.
Crystals in this version, we're still exploring what they're going to do, but...
Oh no, boring minigame. Guess what?
Which is,
you play the game.
Initially, the killer could go in there.
This is good.
And we removed it.
Keep the killer out.
You know, felt that...
Keep it that way.
Adding a layer of complexity that was not needed.
Have killer send survivor here, keep the killer out.
Is always something that we...
Do not let the killer come in here. Make this 100% the survivor safe zone. Because now, what this even does is, okay, if you're baiting perks, like the usual meta perks, like you're intentionally trying to get tunneled out so you can use your perks and haha funny moment, and then complain in the after chat. No, now it's on you. Now it's you need to survive despite your perks. You play the game. This is the fix to tunneling.
Care about because we don't want things to be difficult to understand.
Keep the killer out of here. I never want to see me able to get into this realm as killer.
We got feedback from our playtesters, both internal and external, that they want to go in there as killer.
No.
They want to see it. They want to experience it.
Absolutely not.
You know, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the killer's realm.
Absolutely not.
All that to say that we will be exploring the killer going back in there.
Absolutely not.
It is not set in stone because the killer...
Keep it exactly how it is right here.
It's very complete. There's a lot of moving parts already.
Make it count as a hook state. Give survivors the timer. Make them go on the collectathon. And make it so that if they don't play the game, they are punished for not playing the game. Don't even involve the killer in there. Because you know what you do here? This fixes tunneling. This 100%. Then it doesn't turn into, well, the killer sent me into this realm and I'm trying to escape, but the killer came in and he slugged me in the realm, so I can't actually get out of the realm. No, keep the killer out. Make it 100% survivor. Make it on them to play the game and give them no excuse to blame anyone else other than them not doing the objective. That's it. Keep killers out. You want to see the thing? Play survivor against the killer that has this. Keep the killer out of here. Make it 100% on the survivor. If it goes if this killer has that as a 1-to-1 where it builds up the hook state slowly, I am never going in that realm. I will send people there and I will never touch it. I will avoid going into that. I will 100% turn it into, oh, you're going to be the guy that runs in my face? Go play the game. You don't get to play this stupid game with me of, oh, come chase me. No. Play the game. You're going in the corner. You're in timeout.
Ready, and it may feel like, again, still that layer that's too much and makes it too complex. So we'll have to see. But all of this is very normal for prototyping.
Let me talk on the survivor side. Do you really want to deal with the killer on top of dealing with hook states that are slowly tricking down?
For lack of a better term, we kill
How
things.
badly do you want to be tunneled?
Now we try them again. It's just like we're
Very fitting for the
There
killer,
you go.
You know?
Keep the killer out.
we're constantly iterating. Like that's the whole point of the prototype is to test ideas and validate them so that when we start production, we are confident in moving forward, and we know that all the work that we're going to do is going to...
I am 100% confident that you need to implement it 1-to-1 what you just showed me.
So really quickly...
That is what I need. That is what we need.
Was the pain of artifacts, and that was the idea that survivors may try to wield your relics, but they face severe punishment. And a lot of discourse that we saw online was that players didn't seem to like the idea that you would get punished for carrying something.
So, let me get this right. You spend the couple seconds it takes to open a chest to get Vecna's hand to only get bonuses, and that's a good thing. Why play the killer? Like, why even implement other than what you've already put out, because that's done already? Why would you implement something where it's, oh yeah, the survivor gets to screw you over with no punishment whatsoever? No, I'm sick of it. Because Sadako's the same way. It's like, oh, I get a cool system where I get to teleport around and I get to play around my power and build up this status that puts pressure on the survivor. Oh wait, no I don't. Because one person can just run circles around the map and collect my tapes, and I'm just useless. Might as well play friggin' Trapper, because at least then I have the chance of someone running into my trap. Might as well play Huntress, because at least then I have a projectile I can use to fake people out or catch people on windows. Might as well play literally any other killer that's just WM1, because I don't get my power. Because, ha ha ha, they get to interact with no punishment. No. I'm done with that. Punish people for using your mechanic. Oh, you're gonna traverse through my doors as Springtrap? Guess what? If I decide to go through a door and you're also going through the door, you get grabbed with no second chance to help you. Give me more of that. Give me punishment for abusing my powers. As the survivor, you're abusing my powers.
The object will make you gain sin. And I think everyone made that connection, like even internally. However, we know, both internally and our players, that that sort of thing can lead to a lot of problems in terms of balancing, because if the stars get punished for carrying something, they're just not going to carry it.
Yeah.
Well, boo-hoo. You know, make it okay. So you're gonna tell me that you're gonna give up a significant enough bonus so that you just don't run the risk of like losing out. So you're just not going to interact with it at all. So here's the thing. Here's what you do with it. Okay, cool. Survivor not going to take my relic thing to give them a bonus, but also come with this sin thing where they grow up sin. Make it so that the killer has a power that gives sin anyways. So you're the only thing that you as a survivor do is lose out. Well, I'm gonna get sin anyway, so I'll just grab the thing to get the bonuses. Make that function work any other way. Also, on top of that, like the whole thing is there are these holy relics that you can, if you have, you collect sin. It's like, oh, I take the apple of Eden. Oh no, it's just an apple for me. Oh, you're gonna punish me for this? Oh God, oh why would you do that? That makes no sense. Boo-hoo. No, fucking get over it. Have like a crazy high bonus, but then you also get sin. So you're sent off to this realm that can turn into a hook state. Boo-hoo. That seems fine to me. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Capture the flag. Oh, I can't use any movement abilities or turn invisible or anything. Oh, it's such a problem. We should get rid of all of that mechanics. Oh, what's that? I'm abusing having invisibility and teleportation with like crazy iframes while I'm carrying the flag. Oh, well, it helps me. It benefits me. So why do I care? No, stupid.
Becomes irrelevant because they're not.
Stop fucking caring so much about survivors.
Find a way to force them to carry it, which arbitrary things like that, they tend to not feel too great.
Okay, no, don't force them to carry it. Make it a choice. But it's like, if you don't carry it, it's only negatives. If you carry it, you get positives, but you still have to run the risk of the negatives. That's good game design.
In the Exile.
These guys don't deserve to be publishers. What the hell? They're trying to become publishers. Fuck, you can't even develop a game. Why would they trust you to publish a game?
That was very difficult. I'll just hold it like that.
Come on, man.
So the idea is you can find the artifact in the Exile.
I'm sure they try.
What it
I'm
does
sorry.
is you'll be able to, the crystals that you see, instead of running towards them, you'll collect them with this artifact. Gameplay is still being determined, but
That would also work.
it will grant you immunity to one of the pillars, so you can avoid your hook state being drained. That's the next thing we're going to try. And again, this is exploration. We'll see if it works. It may not stick, and it may not be in the.
Because then
final
it's you
product,
need the
but
artifact to
that's
escape the
way
hook state.
would respect the player's votes, because the idea is that while you're collecting.
But then if people don't want the hook set, then you're pretty much just stuck in this realm on a hook, and no one can ever
You're putting yourself
take care of you because you choose not to get the artifact.
slower, maybe your visibility is smaller.
Yeah.
So, I think it links pretty nicely to survivors may try to wield your relics, but face severe punishment. So
That's what it should be. Like, that's the whole point. Like, give the killer that personality trait. That's the thing. That's the thing. You're worried so much about gameplay, you're not thinking about how it would feel to be this killer. How the theme of the killer should be. It should 100% be, I'm a religious icon. I don't want you touching my shit. If you touch my shit, you get punished for it. That's how it should be. That is how it should be. For this killer, that is how it should operate. You've literally explained how it would look perfectly for that killer, but you don't want to because Survivor going to complain.
You
Typical.
explain all
Typical.
the changes that are happening.
Fucking typical.
The thing that is really unique with the Grimoire is that we're taking you, our players, through every step of the way.
Yes.
And so you get to see the changes that we have to make sometimes in the background for.
This is the crazy foresight of like, do they have any overthinkers over in behavior? Because like,
both sides. So here it's like
they need them. They need people to look at every single solitary aspect.
We get to take you with us through this process.
yeah, and again, prototyping is all about iterating quickly and finding.
And here's
what
the
works,
other
what
thing too.
doesn't.
Sorry for pausing so much. The other thing too with that is they're probably only going to listen to the majority, and statistically the majority is survivors. So everything that bad that a survivor is going to say about these changes that they're going to put in and the things that they're going to build this killer around will literally mean absolutely nothing in the long run, because it's just people wanting to be pandered to and given the utmost absolute care of like, I don't want to do this mechanic, so don't even add it. Oh, I get a say in actually building the thing. Have it free win. No, add that ability 1-to-1. 100%. Tweak it as you need it, but keep the foundation how it is. Make it so that if they go through an entire hook state, they go into the next hook state, but then they leave the realm. So now you're on your second hook state as you leave the realm, so then you're not stuck in there because you decide not to play the minigame. Do that. At the most, do that. I don't care if it's boring. I don't care if you think that it's not fun. It's like, oh, it's a safe space, but it's not fun. Screw you. No, leave it 1-to-1 where it's at.
One of my previous leads has once told me,
Do they have killers playtesting
fail
this?
fast, follow the fun.
Do they have
Because
creators
that's what prototyping is all about. If you
testing
identify
this?
what doesn't work quickly, you can move on to finding
That's
what
it.
works, right?
I understand the prototyping thing.
That's
I
it.
do.
You need to try it first.
But here's the thing. It works. You're ignoring it. Because your feedback, you're so dead set on, the survivor feedback.
Sure, you get a lot of feedback, and you have to learn to filter that feedback, because feedback is important, but you have to understand why that feedback is there.
You're filtering everything that makes you feel good,
and
or makes you look good in the majority,
one of the things with this
quote unquote majority.
is that it was consistent, right? And when feedback is consistent, kind of hints that something is not working as it should.
But is that consistent feedback from one group, like one echo chamber, or
The clicker. Moving on to the Ray of Retribution. So that is the active power.
that's my other problem? Like if like 50 people are gonna say this is bad because they know it's gonna benefit them, and you're only pulling from that group, and you do not have a single voice that opposes you as part of that group, you're not doing anyone a service. So who's actually testing this stuff for you guys? Is it survivors? Are there any killers? Do you have any content creators that are part of this? Especially creators that have opposing views that you've conveniently booted off of your system?
So with the Ray of Retribution, the first thing that we explored, you saw a doodle of that actually very recently, was the idea that...
Yeah.
It was very...
The crazy long cylinder that
so
pierced through people.
Charge up this beam, and there's like a warning phase, and then it triggers, and it fires, and it does its thing. And, you know, I'm going to be very blunt and honest. It worked. Like, it worked. It did the thing that
It worked really well.
However, coming back to the feedback, we got consistent
Here we go.
feedback, both internally and externally, from the user research team.
Here we go.
By the way, if you don't know, you can go to the behavior website to sign up for the playtest squad. You may test a bunch of different things, not specifically the grimoire, but if you're interested in helping out, you could do that. So user research team with their playtest squad and the consultants, the feedback was consistent that it lacked depth and skill expression. And obviously, when we design
What all are you gonna do?
want it to feel engaging, and when there's no depth and no skill expression,
Like,
it ends up kind of falling flat.
dude, pressing M1 is boring and has no skill expression, but it does its job. Sometimes you gotta have something that looks flavorful and just does its job. It doesn't need to be this crazy over-the-top intricate thing, because then it gets difficult, and then you make the killer almost unplayable because it's so difficult to actually do anything. The learning curve for Pinhead's chains, for landing the chains, because they have their own weird acceleration and aiming it the right way, and it's just sometimes you just need something plain that looks cool.
Not great.
No. Well, you want the fun again.
Yes,
You want
yes,
the fun to
exactly,
be a part of it, like you
exactly.
were mentioning.
Yeah. So production.
Also,
I'm just gonna skip to the video production. Thank you.
again,
So I'll
are
show you what it
these
looks like now.
people like actual committed killer players who understand that sometimes more complex means you have a time sink that doesn't help you at all as killer? Like 100% hindrance as killer? We're at a point where I feel like hooking people is too much of an inconvenience, so I'd rather slug. And I don't, but there's so much risk to hooking that it doesn't even feel like I should be hooking at all, which is god-awful. Also, we got some Trickster in the background. Hell yeah.
But we can get back into it.
Yes. Thank you.
Down for it.
For letting me know. Right, so I'm going to show you the GIF now because it's actually playing. So this is the current version, or the previous version, sorry, was the beam. So here you see you're aiming as the killer, and then you fire it, which has the expansion, which was the warning phase, and you got the blue part, which is the actual, effect phase. So like I was saying, we got consistent feedback that it lacked depth and skill expression, and this,
You get those
players,
backwards?
the people that got to test it, the playtesters,
Blue part's the firing part. White part's the...
They were using it, over loops, which was cool, but even with all of that, it still didn't meet the criteria or the expectation that they had with a killer power, which, because it was consistent, we had to pivot. We couldn't.
Skill shot. It doesn't have to be crazy.
And at this point, we challenged our own assumptions, which is, does the beam actually have to come from the killer itself? Because it's very, I think, intuitive to think that a beam that you fire comes from you as the killer, but we challenged that. And so the alternative that we got, and I'm
Let's see this.
for making this comparison, I apologize, but I have to because it's the easiest way to explain it, is kind of like an orbital laser, right? You're going to see in the next GIF, this is the current version that we are testing. So you can charge, which has this pillar that forms and starts moving away from you.
My...
And as it moves away, you can control it.
God?
And you can fire it as well, which will basically send it flying in a straight line from whatever direction it was going, and it will also increase in speed like twice or 3 times or 4 times maybe. Who knows? We'll have to see. Balancing.
That.
So far, it's been super promising. Everyone that's seen it, everyone that's tested it in the editor, has had very positive comments, and we feel that this is
Like, okay. Okay. So my biggest issue, again, with this is, are you survivor coded? Let me explain. Okay. The first iteration does its job, shoots out, does damage. This, it looks better. It looks cooler. Did you factor in, like with Vecna, for example, like new Vecna 2, survivors weaving, survivors running out right in front of the killer's face? So the cooldown from this, from letting it off and letting go of it, the time it would take for the killer to then be able to injure someone who's standing right in front of you that you miss using this. Did you factor in aura reading? Did you factor in vaulting? Did you factor in sprint burst? All these different things that now turns this skill from like a 70-30 in the killer's favor to now like a 30 or 40 killer favor, 60-70 survivor favor. Because now with this, it turns into, can I actually hit a survivor at all with this? Or am I going to constantly miss? Am I going to have to worry about recovery from my attacks to be able to hit a survivor who's running right in my face, and then they move out of range of my basic attack after they know that I have to cool down that? Is the survivor going to be able to constantly think, oh, I'm going to be using this skill a lot, so I just need to weave like crazy like we see with Vecna 2? All these different attributes that are now turning this seemingly cool ability into, why the hell would I ever do this? It's, again, I'm going to reference back to Onryo. Why would I bother trying to use her ability to teleport around to build up this status effect if I'm never going to be able to get the fruits of my efforts? It's too intricate. It's too wild. It's too unpredictable and too anti-able to be managed by the killer. I can already see this turning into an issue of survivor has check spot, survivor plays off the check spot not even well, and they just decide, oh well, killer can't see me, I'm gonna run left when I see him aiming right, and then you miss that ability. And how far away are survivors gonna sprint away? How far away are survivors gonna be able to get away dropping a pallet in front of you? How far away are survivors going to get for anything until I get to the point as this killer of saying, I'm sick of it, I'm done, I'm either putting him away or I'm just not using the ability, except for in rare occasions, and then people throw a fit because I use it in those rare occasions and it actually hits because they want to read me doing it constantly. It's like with Vecna, again, Vecna 2.0. People will run in my face expecting me, oh, you're gonna do the AoE, you're gonna use your AoE, ooh, you're gonna spam the ability because it's so spammable, and then I don't. And then they go down. Because I'm sick of trying to read a survivor who wants to play the game of, ooh, you can't hit me, whack-a-mole. It's gonna be the same situation.
Very high, right? Because you have to learn when to charge, how to control it, and there's
exactly.
It might be a little bit unclear in the GIF or even in the video that I'm gonna show after, but it actually goes through objects right now.
And that's the thing. That part doesn't even matter, the go through thing. That's the thing. Your skill curve, you have an okay idea with having a skill curve of learning, but there's a clear difference between learning the character's curve and you just can't play the character because it okay, so Dead by Daylight is a PvP game. You're relying on another person, not an AI, another person to play the way you're expecting them to play. That doesn't work. That's fighting game knowledge. That's fighting game logic. That's, I'm playing Manat, and because I'm playing Manat, I expect all my orbs to hit the opponent despite me having a really long windup and despite them being able to block, and all my moves are super slow. Why aren't they running into my orb? Maybe it's because they're actual people on the other side of the screen. This isn't going to go as well as they think it is because you're not going against AI. You're not going against someone who's just going to walk into the move.
right?
Okay.
That may not be the case in the final version, but right now we're testing that. And the idea is that when it goes through something, there's a little bit of a slowdown, right? So you can imagine like it erupts through the collision it's going through.
Yes.
So
No.
yeah, we're exploring all this. We've made really good improvements on the controls because the initial version of this
No.
had a bit of a problem where
Because when it slows down, that's going to even put more into my point
over here again,
of
it might be a
like,
little bit unclear 'cause the GIF is so
why
fast,
would
but
I chase
it
someone in
actually
Shack having this ability in my pocket when this ability is just going to be useless at Shack? It gives them even more time
you know,
to
personally,
just get away from
whoever
this.
working on this did a fantastic job at nailing the controls. Obviously, there's still improvements to be made, but yeah, that's the idea.
And again, this isn't in the mindset of, oh, I need my 4K. This is in the mindset of, oh, I need my single down
And of course,
before 2 gens pop off
the help of James.
trying to use an ability.
What we're exploring is that it's actually like just piercing through the entire level, right? So
Very divine.
So
yeah,
very powerful
Yes.
and
Yes.
very, very
Yes.
strong.
Like,
That would be good for using it
this version. The goal is
irregardless of the height difference. That would also be nice.
whatever it ends up being, to feel very heavy and powerful, right? Like we're talking about a divine killer that just wants to strike the sinners with, and punish them.
See, that part makes sense to what I said earlier about how the killer feels for, like, just the killer.
It's a lot more levers to play with for balancing, which means that
That is the only part I can really get behind.
the experience of using it and playing against it a lot more. Because with the beam, we were reliant on basically just, timing.
The GIF is also super slow, so I wouldn't be able to actually, like, super slow, super staggery. This isn't me.
Difficult to dodge.
This is their video that's actually staggering like this.
And so finding
So it's hard to actually gauge how fast it's really moving.
a nightmare, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So with this one, there's a lot of things that we can play with, and we can fine-tune that experience a lot more. All right, so we got
Also, it's got kind of like it's got like a acceleration like a car, kind of like as it moves. So when you let go, here's the other make or break thing. When you let go of it and it shoots off in your 2x, 3x direction, is that the direction you're aiming at or the direction it's currently going? Because there's a huge difference. If I'm moving this and I need it to snap back like a certain frame, if I need it to snap like this angle instead of this angle, but it's moving at this angle, is it going to go this way and land the hit that I need? Or is it going to go this way and be utterly useless? That little bit can make a huge difference. So if it's where you aim it and it'll snap that direction, let's say it has like a pie chart quarter range so that you can't just be like, oh, I have a beam and just immediately backwards. Let's just give it that. Let's say that they're going to give it that semblance of like range to use. That would be better. But if it's just flat out, it's going to fly off in the direction that it was moving when you let go. Awful idea.
Production, should I read the names? Okay, we got a question from Shiver with Mealy.
Why does he keep saying production? So funny.
Across 2 floors at once.
He's as funny as me.
That is a very good question.
Hell no.
At the moment, we are going to test it with hitting multiple floors at once, but it may not be the case in the final version because, of course, we still have...
You just said you want it to feel like you are this agent of heaven, this entity, this being from this godly realm. You want it to feel heavy and meaningful and super impactful, and like it's going through the map. And you're about to tell me that you're gonna consider, even for a fraction of a second, of, well, we might not want to do that. Why? Just make it hit multiple floors. I don't like, what does that even affect? 2, 3 maps? 4 very fringe maps? Of the 4 maps I can think of, 2 of them, that wouldn't even matter because they're either gonna know where you're at and move out of the way because they can see you doing it. The other 2, I can only think of 3, honestly, where that would matter. No, 4. The other 2, you're on absolutely completely No, 3 now. The 3 I can think of, you're on absolutely, ultimately different floors, so you would definitely have enough time for another survivor to come get you to pick you up and then heal you. So it wouldn't even matter if it hit multiple floors, except for the first 2 situations, in which case you gotta be, like, not looking at the killer, or the killer gets super lucky. The 2 I'm thinking of are my favorite map, that deserty one with the ink coming out of the ground when you're in the main building and you're able to go up the stairs. That's even technically the case for Dead Dog Saloon too. So that's 3 on that end, where it doesn't actually matter. So you would be able to see the killer and be like, oh, they're charging up their thing. I can just wait for the beam to go off and ignore it, and then they're downstairs and I'm upstairs, and it doesn't even matter. And the other one is some spots in that, like, indoor map that's, I guess, a Stranger Things map, and I didn't know it was a Stranger Things map. The one I complain about all the time because I hate it, because it's a stupid indoor hallway map. Like, they have a bunch of just rooms in that one that have upstairs, but they're, like, graded floor, fences on, like, walkways. You can see where the killer is. So that part doesn't even matter. Just make it hit multiple floors. It's not going to impact most of the gameplay. You said yourself you want it to feel like it's going through the map, like this earth-splitting, otherworldly, heavy-hitting beam.
Balance it. We have to make it, feel
Make up your mind.
fun to play against for, the survivors. So we're gonna.
There we fucking go. He said it himself. Make it fun for the survivors. Oh, excuse me for trying to use any ability, dude. I can already see the nerfs. This is ridiculous.
I'm trying to say. But yeah.
You're releasing a killer for killers. Stop caring so much about survivors. Care more about the killers when you're making a killer. You want to care more about survivors? Make different survivor perks, so then when you release those perks, people want to use those perks and not the same things we've been seeing for so long. That's some stupid meta. Stop trying to nerf the killer for the sake of survivor fun, because survivors aren't the ones playing the killer to have fun playing killer. It would be like, I made this analogy before in, like, a server, or, like, on a forum, I think on Facebook, where it's like, if they really want to care that much about survivor having fun against killer, like, oh, the killer being played needs to be for the survivor experience, make Blight only have 2 dashes maximum. Reduce Nurse's blink to 1 charge, and then increase the recovery time, and make it so that she can't use it through full walls, only half walls and pallets. To have Blight's Kagane leap only have 1 charge, and then reduce its range to, like, I don't know, 8 meters. There's your survivor experience. Ruin the killer so the survivors can have fun. Yeah, good idea.
What you're seeing on screen is really just like, I think the 2nd or 3rd iteration of what we have.
And I know this is work in progress. I know this isn't as, like, how it's gonna be, but I'm seeing it as this is what it's gonna be.
Sorry, I'm asking for a lot. But yeah, so we'll be fine-tuning it, and of course we're going to continue playtesting both internally, externally, and yeah.
Because I'm kind of forced to be in the mindset
and there's a lot of potential
of they're gonna pander,
how it'll go over time,
and we're gonna get worst case scenario as killer.
Before I close off my section of this segment,
Because that's what they've done for so long.
sorry.
The only time they don't is when they get incredible lashback from both sides.
It's fun and interesting for the survivors if it ticks those boxes that we had. So
I don't care if it's fun for... That's the thing. If I'm playing this killer, I don't care about the fun the survivor's having. I care about my fun. I care about doing my objective.
the Ray of Retribution in terms of a mechanical feel, right? Because we have, like, the inputs that have to feel nice, right? Like how you press the buttons to make it work, but also mechanically speaking, like its speed, its charge time, all those things.
Yes.
That we have to look into to make it feel great to use.
Charge speed, recovery time.
And the last thing that we really want to look into is refining the Hopeless Exile to have more control over the spawning of the hazards and the crystals, or whatever the collectibles end up being.
Why?
They're just spawning randomly, and obviously that's not super great. So we're going to look at
Why?
different tiers of crystals that have more concentrations of hazards around them, so it's more difficult to get them, for example. But yeah,
Oh, if it's automated like that, fine, sure.
We got sorry.
Another
Production
question.
has another question. Yes, from Iron Quacks. As of right now, can you hold the ray indefinitely? As of right now, no. There is a maximum lifetime to how long you can hold it, and even once you trigger.
That's fine.
So I think right now you can hold it for 3 seconds. After three seconds, it goes away. But
That's fine.
fire it before those 3 seconds are up, it will refresh its lifetime. So it'll go for 3 seconds and then it will disappear again. And you can only have one ray active at a time. But yeah, so.
Yeah, so it's going to turn to a Vecna 2 situation where I'm just going to either mash the ability and everyone will dodge it infinitely, or I just choose not to do it.
Probably the coolest. Like, it's super dope. So yeah, that's it. I'm done yapping.
All very exciting.
He talks himself up so much all the time, but like,
we want to hear this.
you have to think through it. You have to put more thought into it than just immediate, here's your answer.
To this extent. So I think that's really, really cool. And before we move on,
Maybe I should be a game developer.
More to share on our social.
Yo, can I be the one to bring in Evolve 3? I'm going to work with Outcast and we're just going to make Evolve 3. That's what it's going to be.
Goes through from a lot of different departments and the work that they do on this chapter. So we'll have more coming very, very soon. Just keep an eye on our social channels. So that was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
And before we, yes, you're gonna still you still have the power of the clicker. So we still need you.
Shut up. Talking stick. I have the talking stick.
Because we've had some votes in January, but we're going to have another vote coming next week. That's going to be very exciting. So, Jay, I'm going to let you take over and tell us a little bit about that.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Is that going to be what map we're going to get? You guys vote on the map?
I'm super excited to be working on that kit. There's a lot of interesting ideas that are brewing on my head into how to justify that. So that will be really great. Little introduction for people who do not know me. I am Jay. I am the art director on the game.
Okay.
So I've been working with
cool.
all the team basically to justify.
He's done good work so far. I like how it all looks. I liked all the voting. It was hard for me to pick.
Bring more concept and make that evolve.
Because a lot of it looked really good.
Thank you so much for having me today. So a quick update on the art side.
So he's doing good.
Currently working on finalizing the concept for next step.
I like him.
So on the killer side, based on the material that were voted last time, we're essentially looking at how we're going to explore to mix them together to really create an enticing killer. So giving an example.
Have the abilities work. That's a good step for having an enticing killer. Make the abilities work for the killer instead of for the survivor.
Material, or how are we going to use all these material together to create something really that will convey the right themes that we want to go for that killer, which are essentially divine and horror. So it was really important for us to find the proper recipe that we want to go for so that we are able to showcase the divine elements that players are expecting, but also making sure that
from the stills alone, they've been fantastic.
Still respected in there, that we fit within the story we want to build around that.
I want to see a lot of white and gold.
That we fit with the gameplay also. That we
a lot of lights. Abuse the hell out of God rays.
Discussing together and really evolving the visual toward a common goal to make it work with all the different parts of that killer kit.
Sure. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of talking it up. There's a lot of nothing burger, but it sounds good to
working on right now.
People.
We have a little teaser of what will be one of the options to vote for next week.
Okay.
So I think we can look at it right now.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, we're keeping it mysterious. It's part of the
okay.
We can see, like, I can recognize the pieces that we voted on.
Yeah.
There's a bit of white and gold there, which is nice. It's your typical like holy figure, like marble white and like gold accent. But it also looks like, it looks like there's like a Soul Calibur eyeball stuck in this corrupted arm, where it's like so it's like it has the outward projection of this holy icon, but on the inside, or holding it together, is like the bare necessities of creation kind of thing, right? Like tendons, veins, all this stuff, where it's like this eldritch level of higher form kind of thing, right? I kind of like that. That's kind of what I've been getting from the previous votes, if you guys haven't seen them too. That's kind of what I'm getting from that overall, is like it's more like this eldritch deity that plays a part in like general creation, like how, if you think like muscles underneath the skin and tendons and everything, of like the mind of what created that come to fruition, of like that's how it looks like, made in God's image, and you get creeped out at like a standee of the human muscular vein system, all that stuff, but that was the mind of the creator kind of
I
thing.
think one thing worth mentioning too is
Kind of see that.
we posted recently about you know, the new roadmap for the votes, and players were asking, you know, they voted on the killer silhouette, they were asking, you know, we voted on the killer material, how is the final concept going to be different? But I think,
Also, personal thing, if it looked a bit more feminine, and not just because I'm a guy and I like the female figure kind of spiel, but we don't have a lot of like out there feminine characters, you know. A lot of the female killers we have are licensed property, like not licensed property, are like their like things they've made.
Exactly.
And a lot of them are just kind of plain. Like Skull Merchant is cool, Artist is cool and unique, but we don't really have much more of that. Like we have Sadako, the Huntress is, it pretty much matches everyone around her in the character selection.
Exactly where we're going with that. So yeah, let's keep it at that.
So again, make sure to, you know, vote next week on February 27th.
A lot of the killers that are behaviors are,
Absolutely.
they seem to have a general theme, and they don't really break away from that theme, so it's good that they're breaking away from it. Like typical dark reddish bluish, you know, like look at Trapper, look at Huntress, look at Billy. They all kind of, they have the same like palette and everything.
We are doing exploration using questions we are asking ourselves essentially. So like, okay, what sort of
So this is good.
do we want to give that survivor that would be interesting, or how do we want to shape that survivor to be unique to our game and essentially stand out from the rest of the.
We're getting an old lady. There's nothing more unique than that. Like Bill finally has a wife.
That we have something unique and original to offer essentially. So I'm also excited to say that.
I hope the spoiler I saw wasn't actual like from them, because she looked very Victorian and everything with a lot of her outfits, and I wasn't a fan. Like steampunky.
For next time. So as you can see, you recognize the face, right? It's still. So
I see kind of like a bone necklace
Exciting. And this is just a sneak peek.
kind of deal. She looks like she has a satchel across her shoulder.
Taken everything they've seen so
Like
far,
a leather jacket.
and made it their own. You know, they're already attached
Leather
to this, which is really exciting.
vest kind of deal.
Get to refine this
Purplish.
which is going to be very
Got a gray undershirt or something. Kind of like Wesker's like.
really been super fun.
And we were just talking.
He's got like the vest thing and like the undershirt, collared shirt thing. It looks kind of like that.
And then we're like, oh shit.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
went
a lot of
different
We
ways.
got
surprises.
surprises. This is for
it's
sure.
really fun.
It looks like Sable. It looks like old Sable.
and it's part of the fun.
Exactly.
Is this just a time warp Sable?
Teams who have to adapt to it too. It's really, you know, making something completely unique here. So
Are they making old Sable? Is it about to break the entire lore?
An extra slide for the next
yes,
part? Okay, I just want to make
yes,
sure.
we have an extra slide. We're just going to do a little recap of the next votes that are coming because that's very exciting.
Okay.
So next week on February 27th,
There's your times. I'm not going to stick around too much for this part, I don't think, but
we have the killer final concept and survivor final concept. That,
I guess whatever.
right here we have
Check out the votes. Gonna look good.
Nick will want to heal. So more.
Well, I want to know what people think about the results. So
So much fun to share with us.
Behind the scenes look at things for the as much as
You won't have missed coming in.
Perk updates. Nice. Cool. No, I'm hopeful. I can't be too hopeful, obviously, because of their running, but I'm hopeful. I'm not a fan of still the mindset of we gotta think of the survivors, right? And we'll see what happens. Again, this is all in development. My feedback is 100% considering that it is a 1-to-1, right? My mindset goes to what you're presenting my mind has to go to this is what you're going to put out. Because unless I see something different, the most recent iteration is going to be the iteration with some minor tweaks in the final form of it. And from what it sounds like, it's a lot of making it significantly harder for killer for the sake of survivor. Or like the feedback of like that second realm that they're sent to of like, oh, it's boring, it's a safe space. Like, who cares? You're applying it to gameplay is, yeah, you think it's boring, but I, as the killer, I'm taking someone out of the game without actually killing them, so there goes the tunnel thing. And it's now up to you to get back into the game. You have to actually play the game, and it lets me, as the killer, have some semblance of breath to go after another survivor, to actually look over generators and not constantly be in this state of I'm not going to win or even get a single kill because people are just over the top. This turns into tunnel out of the game into tunnel into a section where now the responsibility is on you as the survivor to leave. I want that. Keep that in there. That is perfect. That is the fix to tunneling. Put that in 1-to-1 how they have it now. Don't care. Don't let the killer go into the realm. I don't care. Just keep it out as now. 100%. Ability for the killer? Don't. Like, have it hit multiple floors. Who cares? The fringe cases where people are saying, oh, the fringe case, oh, it's going to be able to hit, like, the Saw map is one of the things I'm thinking of, right? Where it's 2 floors, the killer has to go all the way to a staircase, to go up the staircase and all the way around to be able to get you. If you're hanging around your team, they're not going to be able to get to you. Oh, the killer accidentally knocked me down on the 2nd floor when he's chasing someone on the 1st floor. You have until the killer actually knocks that person down on the 2nd floor, or sorry, on the 1st floor, grabs them, walks them to a hook, hooks them, goes upstairs, goes around to where he accidentally hit you, which was probably mid-chase of chasing the guy he's actually going after, pick you up from there that you have the time to crawl somewhere else, so he might not even find you where he downed you, and then walk you to hook without the other guy being unhooked. Just someone is going to pick you up. Somebody's going to pick you up and heal you, and you'll be on your merry way. It'll just be a time sink for survivors, which is needed, again, to help remedy gen speed. What they have presented in this section for that killer is the perfect answer for killer to stop playing the ways that survivors don't like. And people have a problem with it, supposedly. That's what they're saying. The feedback they get from testers. People have a problem with it. Here is the best case solution to all the issues you as the survivor have. Nah, it's boring. Nah, it's too strong. That way, I don't want to be touched by it. I want to do my bar fill simulator, and I don't even want to see the killer. I want the killer to go stand in a corner and not do anything. Just stop. What they have in concept right now is the perfect thing to stop the problems everyone, all the anti-updates they have. That is the fix. You have given the 1-to-1 solution. Don't ruin it because of bad feedback. I'm sorry, as a killer main, that seems one-sided. That's how I see it. I've walked through the logic. If you guys disagree, let's talk about it. I want to hear your guys' opinion on that for sure, because it's a huge deal. This is our next killer. This is their mindset going forward. And nothing will change until something changes. And so far, they haven't wanted to change it. This is proof to me where they kind of have the right idea. They need to lock in and listen to what they have going. They need to put in what they have now. They need to lock in on that. They need to single down on that and work on what you have now, because what you have now is like, I can overlook the ability thing. I can overlook the ability, have it go through floors, and that's it. They could release it right now how it is. And that would be a net positive for the game as a whole. Doesn't matter if it's boring or unfun. It's not. At a foundational level, you don't think about that when you're in the game. If you're a survivor and you're thinking, oh man, this realm I'm in is so boring, and I just gotta run around and collect crystals, and your immediate thought isn't, I need to light a fire under my ass. I'm losing hook states, I'm losing gen time, I'm losing chase time, I'm losing all this different stuff to help attribute to us winning because I was put in this situation and now I need to perform better. so that I'm not in this situation, so that the whole team can positively perform and that we can potentially all get out of here. That's where you should be in that mental state. Let me know what you guys think.